Hi dear Leos, that will be a gypsy card reading for you for 2022. It will not resonating with all of you, so if you feel like that this reading is not for you, just simply leave it. I will make two readings, one for each month of the year and another one by the astrological way. So for all astrological houses, one card, so different areas of your life will be described a bit more. So the first card of January, we have here the falseness. Actually, it talks about that you need to think about that who are around you, what are you doing, what are your plans, what you do wrongly. Maybe maybe you are the one who are not through with himself or herself, and you have false pictures in your head about your future or about your ideas. So that's the time when you need to be careful and when you need to see and check the things twice, even your relationships, friendships, investments, your ideas, everything around you. So you better if you double check the things before you make any kind of big mistakes. Second, for February, we have here the judge. So February is the time when you need to maybe go for any kind of official thing. So you need to go for a court, or you need to sign a contract, or you need to do any kind of official things. Maybe you change job, but also it could be a big decision. Maybe a decision about that what you want to learn, what you want to work, who you want to be with. Maybe a relationship decision. But anyway, it's a decision when you need to decide. If you don't decide, someone else will do it, and not sure that this is the best for you. March is the melody card. So in March you could be maybe super tired or super exhausted, but also maybe that is the time when you could get ill. Not a long one, so maybe it could be just a simple spring depression kind of thing, or you can catch any kind of flu or seasonal illness, so nothing serious. April. For April, we have the hope. And that is the card. It's interesting card because it is always talk about the situation when we are not able to move forward, when we don't know where we want to go, what we want to do, when we want to stand and stop for a while and look around. So, like you can see on the picture, we don't know that she had a great journey or a bad journey. We just see that she is on the side of the beach, and she is waiting because she has here this with her. Maybe she need to put down her emotions and the bad experiences. So for April, I would say that this is the time when you are prepared yourself for a new beginning in any way. So maybe it is the time when you decide that you want to learn, when you want to work in a different area, when you want to move to a different place, when you want to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or any kind of big changes would coming for you. But that is the time when you just prepare yourself for these big changes. In May, um, that is the time when you maybe start to act, but maybe you will act too fast and you could be disappointed, or you can have some little argument. If I think about a physical way, it could bring you a little accident, but not big one. Like you can cut your nail, cut your fingers, or cut your feet, or maybe I don't know, a little accidents at home maybe, but not a car crash or anything like this. But also, yeah, this is the time when you can see that you act too fast and maybe your decisions are not the best ones. June. We have for June some money. Some money is a situation which can bring you, of course, a little extra, a little money. But usually I would say that this is the money what we need to spend for something what we didn't expect it. So maybe you need to buy a new fridge, you need to pay an extra fee, you need to, I don't know, you need to pay a bill, or you need to spend for something what you didn't expect it. But also it could represent extra work when you need to invest extra work in something, maybe a relationship, maybe in your work, maybe in a flat renovation, maybe if you want to move to a different place for your move costs more, or you need to work with it more. But actually it is an extra work mainly, I would say. July. Oh, yes. So for those ones who are in a relationship, July would be the best time and the best period. And for those ones who are looking for a relationship, that is the best time to find the perfect one and to be fall in love. For those ones who are in relationship, I would suggest to go for holiday this time because you could have a really happy and nice and emotional time. And for those ones who are planning to have a baby and they have a partner, that is the time when they should work on the baby project. 8, which is August. We have here the death card. Death card could means, of course, real death. So maybe someone you can lose someone. But mainly, my experience is that death card is talks about when we close down a chapter in our life. It could be the end of a relationship, an end of a lifestyle, an end of a friendship, an end of a job, but something what is a radical change in your life. So you could expecting big changes in your life in August. But you don't have to be sad because on in September, we will have you will have a lot of new opportunities. Message card is talks about, of course, travels. So maybe you could travel, or you could go for holiday, or somewhere, but I would say far distance. But also it is the opportunities. So if it is end of a relationship, I mean this death in August, but I wouldn't think, then you will have new opportunities. If it's an end of a job, then definitely you will have a lot of opportunities, a lot of new interviews. But also, for if you didn't have anything closed down in your life, definitely September is the time when you could invest money, when you start to learn, when you start to invest, and a beginning of a new journey, but a journey which could bring you success. October. Emotionally, it will be an interesting period. You have here the sadness. Sadness is the situation when you don't, when you are disappointed, when you are depressed, but also a situation when you feel like that you cannot move forward, even if you want, you can't. So somehow you are limited. You could feel limited in October in many area or many ways. So even if you have new opportunities, maybe you will feel like that you are not, you cannot take as much as you want. November. November, we have here the misfortune. That's not a great card, but this is the end of things again. So if you didn't have ended or closed down the things there, and if this situation doesn't changing in your life, now that will be the time when you destroy everything, and when you say, okay, enough. And it could or it could bring you a situation when you have to change something even if you don't want it, but definitely it could bring you the situation when you say that it is enough and you don't want to do it anymore. But also it could represent a situation when you have a lot of problems around you, but you feel like that you are not able to change anything. So this situation can go worse as well. And the last one we have here for December, the desire. The desire card could talk about high level of sexuality, so you could be very, like fancy for someone. Uh, but also that's a situation when you know that what you want, but you are not ready to do anything for it yet, or when you don't have the opportunities to change. So I would say that the end of this year we have been not that happy, um, but you shouldn't give up because the opportunity will coming for you if you had any bad experience at the end of the year. um, the most important thing is that you shouldn't look back. You should look to the future, and definitely you should let things go. So let's see, by the astrological houses, that will be quite important as well. So I just shuffle the cards. First house. We have for the first house the money. So that is the year when you can develop yourself. I mean, you can grow a little bit, so you can put on weights. It is good for those ones who want to go to gym and want to build muscles, but not for those ones who always want to lose weight. But also it can represent that you can be your own value. So you need to represent yourself well, and you need to recognize that what is good in you. And if you see that what is good in you and you can show it for others, you can reach more. And also it could talks about that you need to invest to your brain and for your self development in this year. Second is the second house, like financial things. And let's talk about that you need to be patient in this year. So you will have an opportunity to change about your financial situation, but you need to be patient. So whatever you want to reach, maybe you want to pay rise, you want a new job, you want to invest money, you want to get money from your investment, you just need to be patient in this year. For third house, we have the Tao. It's mean that you will be quite realistic in this year. You will be able to see clearly the opportunities, and you will be able to decide well. So definitely, your emotions will not. So you will make decisions without emotions and more, not without emotions, I would say, like more realistically and not like emotionally. Also, it talks about that you need to communicate very straight and direct with everybody, and that is the year, if you want to start to study, that is the year for you to start to study, because you will have great opportunities. And also it is good for those ones who want to make any exam or finish any studies, because they will be successful with it. It is also talks about that you will have great communication skills in this year, and you will be able to see the things clearly. So if you have any kind of communication issues or argument with anybody in the past, now you have an opportunity to make peace. Fourth house. Oh my god, it's a nice one. So for fourth house, we can talk about properties like your own home, but also about your family. So many of you, I guess, that will marry this year, and or the marriage or the relationship state will affect for your home or your family life. Definitely, I would think that many of you will buy or sell property in this year, or move together with someone or with some ones, because marriage is a bigger group. So maybe you will live together with your. I can imagine that many of you maybe move back to your parents, or you move to your partner in this year. Also, with fourth house and marriage, I can imagine that many of you will make a family business in this year. Fifth house. Fifth house talks about kids, uh, lovers, and creativity, and all of the things which make us happy. And if you have your own business, it's also represent this one. And we have here for this the house. House is the base, the stability, the roots. So in this year, I would say that if you have a problem, if you want to have a baby, now you will have a chance for it. If you have any baby problems, you need to go back for with this one. I would say that you need to think about emotional blocks and from your childhood or from your family, and you need to work on it. Or it's talk about that maybe you need to get prepared your home and your life or your family for this baby. For those ones who has a baby already or who has a kid and they have a problem with the kids, I would say that is a situation which will be quite long-term situation, but not impossible to change. But for those ones who are happy with their kids, now it's a secure, nice, good time. For those ones who want to have a business, definitely I would recommend to plan very early and maybe ask help from the family or work with a family member. Six, yeah, in work, health, and everyday life, you could have, you need to be careful in this year. You could have little injuries and little arguments. Definitely not the big ones. But these ones, all of these things give you lessons to learn. So maybe you see that how you make bad decisions. So this is the year when you will make a lot of bad decisions, but you will have an opportunity um, to learn. Seventh house, and we have here the falseness. Um, it's not a good card. It is talks about that we are not right, or we see the things a different perspective, but not in the real one, or that our partner is false, or that we are too jealous. So I would say that in this area of your life, you should ask someone to see the things, and you should listen for them, because maybe you don't see the things well, or you not act well, or something is not clear, or something is false, or somehow not sure that false. Maybe you see the things wrongly. Eighth house, and we have here the sweetheart. So maybe you are emotionally addicted by your partner, or you addicted of love. You need to think about this. But also eighth house represent our financial situation, so it say that you will have an opportunities to invest and money can come to you in this year. And also, if you have any kind of tax issue, or any problems with banks or loans or credits, it could be sorted in this year. Ninth house. Interesting that death is not surely death, but it is more mainly the end of something. So I can imagine that maybe you will change your world perspective. So maybe somehow you have a huge change in your belief system. But also, I can imagine that you start to learn something new, something totally new. So something very, very differently what you learned before. So maybe you was a doctor, and now you will start to learn sport, or to learn to be a coach, or a spiritual person. But definitely a huge changing could coming. And also, I can imagine if you live in another country, you could move away, or I can imagine that many of you will give up their old life and they move to a different country and they started totally new life in all aspects. Then it's for those ones who are looking for job. This card represent the job that they have an opportunities, but somehow it seems like that it will be not the long-term ones, or they will change their mind too often, or they will not be happy with the work. And for those ones who has a job already, they can expecting a lot of changes in the job, new persons, new colleagues, but they are just coming and going, and even new situations, new ideas in the job can coming and going. Yeah, but nothing is sure now. A lot of things changing, and but they are not long-term changes. For 11, we have a letter, which is a long-term plans and also the friendships. So maybe maybe you could have news from someone who you didn't see long time ago. Some friendships can turn to I would say official, but not that the word, but yeah, more serious. And I can imagine that some of your friends become more than a friend. And also, it mean like a lover, but also it could mean a business partner or a work partner. And also, it talks about that whatever you want to reach in your life, you need to make the first step for it, or you need to get informations for it. But also, it could represent that you will have the opportunities to reach whatever you want to reach in your life. And for 12, we have the officer. So it means that maybe that is the time when you need to make the big decision, and you need to let things go, and you need to start whatever you want. So you need to stand up for yourself in each way. So maybe you need to stand up for yourself and say that it is enough, and complete the things. And maybe it is the time when you need to stand up for yourself and trust in yourself. And maybe if you want to do your own business, you need to start to make the first step, and stand on your own feet and try to be successful alone. But it could be in many departments. It could be a relationship department. It could be many things. So maybe you could make a decision that you ask your partner, like make a proposal, or you break up, or you will say that, okay, I want to have a baby, and if you don't want to have a baby, don't waste my time, and so forth. Thank you for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed that, and see you next year.